Hi there, welcome to another reading journal update video. This time it's gonna be a longer video and we're gonna discuss about 3 books from the series A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. There is so much hype around this series and I started reading it sometime in 2022, I think. I've read the first volume, then in 2023 I read the second volume, and that went really slowly for me, so I decided to take a break after that. And recently I wanted to pick up the series from where I've left it, but I felt like I needed a refresher, so I listened to the audiobook version of volumes 1 and 2 and then continued with reading the third volume. And basically this little story is the reason why we have now a video with the first 3 volumes of the ACOTAR series. This was one of the series that got me back into reading fantasy. I randomly borrowed it from my friend Timmy because she had read it and enjoyed it quite a bit. So she had the books and I borrowed them, and yeah. But now I'm reading them in ebook format. I've been reading a lot of ebooks this year and I think it's starting to become my favorite way of reading books. I do enjoy a physical book in my hand, but I have my phone in my hand a lot of my time, and I thought that reading on it would be more useful than endlessly scrolling, so that's the reason I started reading on my phone. But right now it just became a habit, and it's also more at hand literally, because I have it with me everywhere I go. I don't need to carry the physical books. I did start looking into Kindles because that's also super portable, and I would like to not interrupt my reading with notifications or scrolling. So yeah, that's probably the next step. But back to the journal setup. When I first read this series, I did make a spread in my reading journal at the time. I was not that constant with the reading journal at that point, and only the first volume had a spread, so this time I decided to make a spread for all of the first 3 volumes, even though the first 2 were rereads or actually re-listens. That's how my mind works. Everything has to be more or less in the same place. I will also make spreads for the other volumes when I get to them, but because the first 2 are rereads and the third is the one that I actually read for the first time this year, I decided to make spreads for the first 3 and make a video with all of them together. As you probably noticed already, I've been rambling for almost 4 minutes now without telling you anything about the books, and that has a very good reason, because especially after the first volume, I feel like everything is a spoiler in this series, so I'm trying not to say anything, to be honest. But let me tell you maybe a little bit about the setup of how the story starts. The story starts with Feyre, a human girl in the forest, hunting to bring something to eat to her very poor family. She's living in a cottage with her disabled father and her 2 sisters, an older sister and a younger sister, so she's the middle child, and she's the one who takes care of them most of the time. They used to be a happy family and quite rich, but their father lost most of their fortune and their mother died when the girls were young, so this is how they live now. And Feyre was out hunting, and she put an arrow through something that wasn't really an animal. It was a disguised fairy, and that's where the whole plot starts unraveling, because a fairy high lord comes to seek retribution. And I will just stop here because I guess it's already becoming spoilery, and this is only the setup of the first volume, and imagine how much else happens in the other volumes that I can't really speak about. I'm really enjoying this series, and I think that everything I've read that's in this genre of fantasy or romantasy, it's kind of a spin of some of the tropes that we find here. So I think this is the original one, and then the rest just try to mix and match some tropes. My favorite volume, I think, was the third one, because it's quite a long book and I've read it in 2 weeks or something like that, which for such a long book, for me, it's super fast. I also enjoyed a lot the second volume the second time around, so when listening to the audiobook. I don't really know why the first time it didn't catch my attention. I remember I was going very, very slowly through it, and the second time I don't understand how I could have stopped the first time after finishing this volume, because there is a cliffhanger at the end. I guess this is no spoiler. There's quite an ending to the second book, and I can't imagine how I didn't want to continue at that point with the books and finding out what happens next. But here we are. I've just read the third one. I plan to continue with the series with the fourth and fifth book, especially now since the sixth one is kind of coming, I think. So there will eventually be videos for those volumes as well. For those, I will probably keep it as one video per book, and hopefully I will make the videos, but I'm pretty sure I will. So this was my experience with the ACOTAR series so far. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of this kind of different format with multiple spreads or multiple books in one video. I think if they're a series, it works super well, but let me know also if you like it. And also, if you did like this, you can click the like button and subscribe to the channel for more bullet journal and reading journal videos. The next one is coming super soon, so stay tuned. See you there!